When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line.
I can taste triumph with the heart of a lion.
When victory alone isn't enough, you chase something greater, no matter how difficult the path, on the dirt, in the sand, and beyond. The new 2024 Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot, part of our most rugged trail sport lineup yet. From Honda.
Good evening and welcome to our show, Going Public. I'm Renee Fonseca, and joining us tonight is Gracie Dedevo, the Ready Start Coordinator for the Terrebonne Parish School District. I want to thank you, Gracie, for taking time out of your day to join us. Tonight, you're going to provide us with some information on the early childhood program that the Terrebonne Parish School District offers. I want to thank you again for coming. First off, let's go ahead and start with introductions. Can you tell us a little bit about Ready Start Terrebonne?
Ready Start Terrebonne exists under the authority of Terrebonne Parish Schools, with a charge by the Louisiana Department of Education to find long-term, sustainable funding to increase access to high-quality early care and education in our parish. Ready Start Terrebonne works to create a culture of high-quality, comprehensive early childhood services, birth to 5 years, through engagement and partnerships with families, educators, and community members. For more information, you can visit our website, readystartterrebonne.org, or follow us on social media.
I've heard you talk about the impact of early childhood education before. Can you highlight a few key statistics and why it is so important that children receive these early childhood education services?
Most people understand the importance of high-quality early care and education and brain development in young children. The first 5 years are the most critical in the development of a child's brain. From birth to age 3, children grow and learn at the most intense rate. These are the years when children are learning how to learn. In Terrebonne, there are 7,400 children from birth through age 4. Of those children, 2,700 are economically disadvantaged, and only 1,250 are served in publicly funded seats. Thus, over 1,400 eligible children are not able to access publicly funded seats. We know that children less likely to participate in high-quality early childhood programs are those living in families who are economically disadvantaged. These children are less likely to be ready for kindergarten. Early education is also a family issue. More than 47% of families in Terrebonne Parish cannot afford the basics. The rising cost of child care puts early care and education out of reach for these families. And 2 out of 3 children under the age of 5 have both parents or their single parent in the workforce. Our working families rely on high-quality, affordable programs to enable them to go to work.
We know that your mission directly affects millions of families and children, but this also plays a role in Terrebonne Parish's quality of life and economy. Can you talk a little bit about how your mission serves the local business community?
Early care and education is a workforce and economic development issue. As I just mentioned, when families don't have access to quality, affordable childcare, they can't go to work. Employers are struggling to find workers because workers are struggling to find childcare. Working families struggle to access quality early care and education because of growing wait list and because of growing cost, upwards of $13,000 per year depending on the age of the child. When parents can't get to work due to childcare breakdowns, Louisiana businesses lose $762 million per year, and the state economy suffers a $1.3 billion loss annually. Data from the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children documents these losses to businesses and the overall state economy as a result of child care breakdowns. So it is important for businesses and the public to get involved and to support efforts to fund early care and education. Ready Start Terrebonne is addressing these areas head-on by seeking sustainable funding sources to increase the number of publicly funded seats available to economically disadvantaged children, thus supporting children, families, businesses, and the Terrebonne economy.
Do you have any personal stories or direct impacts that you can describe that will make it real for our viewers?
One of the biggest impacts to our community are when we get the phone calls from families who are struggling. They have applied for child care assistance, they have secured a job, and then they're placed on a waiting list for that child care assistance. And in the meantime, the family is responsible for the cost of the child care, which they cannot afford. So then they have to in turn forfeit the job, and they have to stay home with their child.
And how often are you getting these phone calls or these direct stories that you hear about?
Pretty frequently. I have a child care director that recently asked me about numbers throughout the district. There are openings at her site, but she's unable to fill them because the families on the waiting list are all waiting on child care assistance.
And how long does the process normally take?
The waiting list could take up to a year before funding is released to assist the family.
Let's go ahead and talk more about early care and how it impacts our quality of life in Terrebonne. Can you describe some of that as well?
Despite our current efforts, less than 20% of children in Terrebonne Parish enter kindergarten ready for kindergarten content. Think about what it means for kindergarten teachers and the work they have to do in the 10 months they have those children. Unfortunately, we know that many of these children who start typically stay behind, failing to read by 3rd grade and then often dropping out of high school. High quality early care and education can mitigate these challenges. Quality learning centers provide an enriching environment rooted in high quality interactions to support a child's growth and development. Research shows that quality early childhood education yields higher graduation rates, better health outcomes, and lower involvement in violent crimes before the age of 18. In other words, investing in early education now reduces cost and increases quality of life for Terrebonne in the long term.
We do have to take a short break. Please continue to join us after the break.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Good evening and welcome back to Going Public. If you are just joining us tonight, I'm Renee Fonseca and joining me is Gracie Dedivo, the Ready Start Coordinator for the Terrebonne Parish School District. Once again, thank you, Gracie, for joining us. Before the break, we were talking about the importance of early childhood education and those services. You got into, the impacts of quality of life and how it affects our local community. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the projects that you are most proud of and how that can affect our community as well.
One of our biggest achievements as Ready Start would have to be our Community Supply Building and Access Grant that we received last school year. We were able to assist one childcare in opening a second location. We paid for things like all the instructional materials in the facility, furniture, the sprinkler systems, fire alarm systems to help support them in opening the second location. It is located in an area that had a great need for childcare, and it has 11 brand new classrooms, and it opened about 100 seats for families. And then another childcare, we were able to assist them. They purchased a building and they will be moving into that facility, but in the process, they will be doubling in size. So also adding about 40 new seats for families. And over there, we were able to furnish and supply all of the instructional materials that are needed for that new facility.
And what other resources do you provide to these child care centers?
One of our greatest things that we are able to accomplish with Ready Start are, I would have to say, is our coaches. We have 2 full-time coaches that are able to go out and work with the directors as well as the teachers in the classrooms to help increase the quality of the interactions that the teachers are having with the students and helping them work through situations such as relationship building and social emotional traumas and things that we're seeing nowadays. So they're able to support those teachers in working with the kids in their classrooms. We also have provided curriculum to every one of the classrooms in our sites that we work with, plenty of instructional materials, anything we can do like that to help support them.
So it does sound like you guys do provide a lot from the district.
We do.
We've talked about the tremendous value that this program brings to Terrebonne Parish. How can local businesses get involved?
First, businesses can get involved by joining the Ready Start program, Ready Start Terrebonne Advisory Council. The next Advisory Council meeting is October 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and will be held at the Houma Terrebonne Chamber of Commerce. This is an open meeting and everyone is invited to join us and learn more. Businesses and organizations also can get involved by supporting our local fundraising efforts to increase access to quality early care and education in our parish. All donations to Ready Start Terrebonne are eligible for state matching funds through the Early Childhood Education Fund, doubling its impact and potentially funding multiple high-quality seats for eligible children. Currently, these state matching funds are going to the larger parishes such as Orleans and Jefferson. We need to start raising local dollars to ensure these state funds come back to Terrebonne. Businesses can learn more about our initiatives on our website, through our social media sites, and by signing up for our newsletter.
And if any family has concern about a child's development, how can they reach out, or how can you guys offer assistance to these families?
So anytime a parent may have a question or a concern about a child or needing assistance in their child's early childhood education, they can always call us. We are located at the Terrebonne Parish West Park Special Ed and Federal Office. The phone number is 985-879-6400, and they can reach out to us. We can help support them and connect them with our child find coordinator if they have concerns about the child's development. If the child is not 3 yet, we can help them reach out and connect with early steps providers. We can assist them in finding a child care that may have an open seat available and help them through that application process.
And then with the website provided, are parents able to register their children with the early childhood centers as well?
Yes. So on our website, there is a link to apply to all of our participating partners. So it has all of our type 3 child cares, it has Head Start, and it has public pre-K.
And what is that website again?
It is readystartterrebonne.org.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's go ahead and start wrapping up our conversation. What is the most important thing you want people to know when it comes to Ready Start Terrebonne?
Ready Start Terrebonne is committed to finding local, long-term, sustainable funding now and for years to come. There is still a lot of work to do as we try to identify funding sources, but this is an important work and I'm excited to get it started. If we're going to have serious conversations about the future of Terrebonne Parish, we have to address the future now.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure having you on the show. We look forward to having more shows, hearing about your early childhood services that you provide. So thank you once again.
Thank you.
We would like to thank you, our viewers, for watching. Don't forget to join us every week on Going Public. Good night.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.